Welcome to another episode of On the Mic with MAP, mapping the way to predictable implant dentistry. Today's topic is one that's very meaningful for me personally, as I see it, because as an educator as well as clinician for all these years, I think this is a very important topic to share with all of you. And that topic is the challenge of delivering meaningful education. And what do I mean by meaningful? Well, stay tuned here, and we're going to cover this in some detail. For more than 3 decades plus now, I've had the privilege and honor of teaching surgeons, clinicians from all around the world. During that time, I've come to appreciate a simple but profound truth. Delivering information is easy. Delivering meaningful education is extraordinarily difficult. It is a challenge. The distinction is important. Information can be downloaded, streamed, read, or even memorized. We all know this. But meaningful education changes how a clinician thinks, how they make decisions, and ultimately how they treat their patients. It is not measured by the number of slides presented, nor the sophistication of the technology used, or even the amount of scientific literature that is cited. It's truly measured by what? Transformation. This challenge is at the heart of every course we deliver here at the Pikos Institute. Today's clinicians have unprecedented access to information. In fact, we can watch surgical procedure online. We can download articles from leading journals, certainly. We can participate in webinars, podcasts, and engage with experts from around the world without even leaving our office or our home. Yet, despite this abundance of information, many practitioners remain uncertain when faced with certain complex critical decision-making. Why? Well, because again, information alone does not create competence. And what is competence? Well, competence develops when knowledge is organized into a framework that can be applied predictably and safely in clinical practice. Our responsibility as educators, as I see it, is not simply to show what is possible. And instead, our responsibility really is to help our colleagues understand the why of a procedure. Why does it work? When it should be performed, when it should be avoided, and most importantly, how to manage complications when things really don't go according to plan. This is particularly true in the field of implant reconstruction and full arch implant therapy. It is relatively easy to show successful cases. We can all do that. We can show you how great we are. What are we accomplishing? Not much. It's much more difficult and far more valuable, in my humble opinion, to teach the decision-making process that led to those outcomes. A beautiful final photograph might inspire a clinician, but it does not necessarily prepare them for what? For the realities of patient selection, anatomy, surgical execution, restorative planning, or even complication management. Here at the Pikos Institute, we have always believed that meaningful education begins with fundamentals. Regardless of experience level, every clinician benefits from a deeper understanding of anatomy, diagnosis, and treatment planning. Technology continues to evolve. Implant designs will continue to improve, certainly, and digital workflows become increasingly more sophisticated. Yet the biological principles governing successful treatment remain unchanged. The clinician who understands anatomy will always outperform the individual who simply follows a protocol. The surgeon who understands diagnosis will always outperform the surgeon who relies solely on technology. The surgeon who understands principles will always outperform the surgeon who memorizes techniques. For this reason alone, our educational philosophy emphasizes understanding before execution. Before discussing surgical workflows, we study anatomy. Before discussing implant placement, we evaluate diagnosis. Before discussing treatment, we examine indications and contraindications. This progression is by design. It is intentional because meaningful education requires context. Another challenge in delivering meaningful education is addressing the wide spectrum of experience levels present within a single audience. Indeed, this is a great challenge for us all. In any course, there may be clinicians placing their first implants alongside surgeons who have performed thousands of procedures. The needs for these participants are very different. The novice seeks structure and predictability. The experienced clinician seeks refinement and nuance. But my challenge, and all of us as educators, is what? To create value for both groups simultaneously. This requires moving beyond simply teaching how. It requires teaching why. When participants understand why a procedure succeeds or fails, they gain the ability to really adapt to new situations. Think about it. Rather than having some structure, I believe that our attendees become less dependent on recipes and more capable of exercising sound clinical judgment. In my humble experience, this transition from technician to thinker represents one of the most important milestones in professional development. A related challenge involves bridging the gap between the lecture hall and the operatory. Every educator has experienced that satisfaction of a successful presentation followed by the realization that, you know what, enthusiasm does not always translate into implementation. Surgeons who leave a course highly motivated only to encounter uncertainty when faced with their first case back home. Meaningful education must therefore extend beyond inspiration. It must create confidence. Confidence is built through repetition, visualization, and practical application. This is why we emphasize surgical videos, CBCT interpretation, treatment planning exercises, cadaver dissection, case-based learning, hands-on model work. These educational experiences help bridge the gap between theoretical understanding and clinical execution. So the goal is not simply to teach a procedure. That's pretty straightforward. Or is it? The real goal is to develop a clinician capable of performing that procedure safely and predictably. Perhaps the greatest challenge of all is teaching judgment. And judgment cannot be learned from a textbook alone or from a video online. It develops through experience, reflection, mentorship, and honest discussion of complications. In fact, every successful surgeon has experienced failures, setbacks, and difficult cases. All of us have. Yet many educational programs focus almost exclusively on success stories, showing how great a case can be, and nothing wrong with that. However, the real learning comes from learning from our complications. And again, here at the Pikos Institute, we believe complications deserve equal attention. I personally have taken pride with each of our courses to provide anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5, even 4 hours of time devoted to complications in any given 3 or 4 day course. And guess what? The majority of these complications by far are my own. I firmly believe we must bare our soul. We must show the good, the bad, and the ugly always, because it's from the bad and the ugly that we learn so much. So complications are often the most powerful teachers in surgery, for sure. They force us to re-examine assumptions, refine protocols, and improve patient care. More importantly, they teach humility. Here at the Pikos Institute, we believe complications deserve equal attention because indeed they are often the most powerful teachers in surgery. There's nothing more valuable, in my humble opinion, than being humbled by a complication. And again, here at the Institute, I take pride in spending anywhere from an hour and a half to up to 4 hours of time in any given course, showcasing complications, the majority of which are my own. So again, complications are indeed the most powerful teachers that we have. They force us to re-examine assumptions, refine protocols, and improve patient care. More importantly, they teach humility. The surgeon who understands complications is better equipped to prevent them, to recognize them early, and manage them effectively. This commitment to transparency is essential for meaningful education. Participants deserve more than polished presentations. They deserve honesty. They deserve to understand not only what works, but also what can go wrong. Another important aspect of meaningful education is fostering lifelong learning. This is very dear to my heart, and I'm very passionate about this particular concept because I do walk the talk. I thoroughly love to learn, and any chance I get to learn anything, I'm all in. And definitely what applies to everything we do here at the Institute. The field of implant reconstruction continues to evolve at a remarkable pace. New technologies, biomaterials, digital workflows, and treatment concepts emerge every year. And while we as educators must remain current, we must also teach participants how to evaluate this new information critically. In other words, how to process it efficiently and effectively. Because not every innovation represents progress. Not every trend withstands scientific scrutiny. In fact, the responsibility of the modern surgeon, as I see it, is to remain curious while maintaining healthy skepticism. Meaningful education helps clinicians develop this balance. Ultimately, the greatest educational experiences do more than transfer knowledge. They inspire growth. They challenge assumptions. They encourage excellence. They create a mindset of continuous improvement. As educators, we must remember that every participant who attends a course represents far more than a registration number. This is an important concept because behind each clinician is a practice, a team, a family, and even thousands of patients whose lives may be influenced by what is learned during that particular course and those days together. So really that responsibility should never be taken lightly. When our colleagues invest their time and resources to attend a course here at the Pikos Institute, I know they place their trust in us. They expect more than information. They expect guidance, mentorship, and practical knowledge that can improve patient outcomes. Our obligation, as I see it, is to honor that trust by delivering education that is absolutely relevant, evidence-based, clinically applicable, and most importantly, transformative. In the end, meaningful education is not about creating better lectures. Not at all. It's about creating better clinicians. And in fact, if participants leave our courses with a deeper understanding of anatomy, greater confidence in diagnosis, improved surgical judgment, and a renewed commitment to excellence, then yes, we have all succeeded. That ultimately is the mission of the Pikos Institute. Not simply to teach procedures, but to develop thoughtful, competent, and ethical clinicians who can provide the highest level of care to their patients for years to come. So that really envelops the concept of meaningful education. It is a challenge as I see it, and one that I don't take lightly because I devoted these past 3.5+ decades of my time and focus on education that is in fact meaningful. That has been a passion of mine. And so the objective really hasn't changed over all these years. If anything, it has become even more important for me now with my experience, my background, my skill sets as they've developed, to understand better what is it that I can do and my faculty together to create an atmosphere, a culture, to continue this culture that is one that allows our clinicians to get the best benefit from our courses. Again, content by itself isn't that important. Again, we don't want to just have clinicians come and memorize information that we give them. And by the way, we give them a lot of information. Our handout that we have in terms of a textbook itself is great in volume, but that by itself is meaningless. What's more important, or as important as that, really, is the entire experience that our clinicians have when they come to our courses. Because at the end of the day, what is most meaningful in terms of the educational element that they receive is taking home the ability, the skill set to what? Assess, to evaluate critically the why of what they're doing, of the why of what they've learned, and to challenge everything that they're taught and challenge themselves to become better clinicians, better people, better husbands, better wives, better siblings, etc. So it's a personal element that we also share with our clinicians. And so the entire experience is a truly meaningful one from a pure educational perspective, yes, but also from a personal one. And that can only be had with live courses. And that is why I remain passionate after all these years in terms of moving forward and being proactive with upgrading all of our courses and adding new ones as I see fit, and having an amazing faculty that has been nothing but spectacular in terms of what they're able to offer, consistent with the culture that we've developed over all these years. So with that said, I can't thank all of you who have been part of our courses over the years, certainly, but any of you who have been able to experience any of my presentations from main podium talks, not just at our symposia and our courses, but from literally any talks all over the globe. I'm grateful to all of you for giving me feedback over time, yes, and even taking time to listen to the message that I have to share with you. Education is something that we continue to pursue our entire lives. So with that said, I leave you with the challenge of continuing to become better at what you do every single day. And I think this is important. Look in that mirror and say, you know what? I need to be better today than I was yesterday. And just continue that concept, that same mindset. I think this is really important to become a better person, a better clinician, a better educator, because we're all educators if you think about it. We're educating our patients every day. We're educating our staff, and on and on. So I wish all of you the best and look forward to our next episode of On the Mic with Map, mapping the way to predictable implant dentistry. Thank you.